I'm Dr. Nathalie Beauchamp, and this is What the Hack, the podcast that dives into what the heck is going on in the world of health and well-being, explores how to optimize your mindset and your lifestyle, and shares practical tools so that you can achieve your fullest potential. Join me and a special guest each week as we discuss everything from biohacking to diet personalization to cutting-edge detox methods to setting and staying accountable to your goals. Ready to find out what the hack you can do to stay healthy, sharp, and at the top of your game? Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the What the Hack podcast, where every week I talk about health by either inviting a guest or sharing information from my book, Hack Your Health Habits. This week, I'm super excited to have a very good friend of mine, and even prior to the show, we were already laughing and goofing around, so I don't know where this show is going to go, but I promise you one thing, it is going to be fun and entertaining. So my guest today is my good friend, Dr. Celina Spence out of Truro, Nova Scotia. I was just visiting her and her husband a couple weeks ago, and we had an awesome time. So when I was visiting Celina, staying at her house, I saw how much she was using the essential oils as part of her daily habits and so forth. So I thought, and I know she's been really enjoying essential oils for years now. So I thought, Celina, let's get you on my podcast because I know more and more people are using oils, maybe not to the extent that they could or that they should. So welcome to the show, Celina.
Thank you. Truro misses you, Nat. It's been 2 whole weeks.
I know. We had a blast. So, Celina, I always ask my guests to kind of introduce themselves in terms of, who you are, what's your career, and how also you got excited with the oils and so forth. And then we're going to start digging into some hacks because I want it to be practical. So, first of all, who are you? Where are you from? And what are you all about, kind of thing?
Well, I am Dr. Celina Spence. I'm a chiropractor and a colleague of yours and many other great chiropractors across this great nation. I'm originally from the prairies, so I'm a flatlander who found a really hot guy from Nova Scotia. So here I am. I'm now a maritimer. I'm in Nova Scotia. And as far as, qualifications and things like that, I struggle to talk about those things. But what I am is a chiropractor through and through, who really believes in the lifestyle of what you do between visits, specifically through menu and exercise and being as strong as you can be mentally. So I try really hard to walk the walk and talk the talk. I would never ask anyone to do anything that I haven't guinea pigged on myself and my 2 small children and my dog and whatever, So I will never ask anybody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And I think more so than even the accomplishments I may or may not have had is that I love with my whole heart and really truly want to give whatever wisdom I may have to other individuals so that they can take care of themselves. I know here in Nova Scotia, there's such a huge shortage of family physicians that I'm concerned that people aren't going to be able to have any type of care. And the best way we can help out our medical system is to stay healthy and stay the heck out of it.
Very well said. So how did you get interested into oils? Because it's been, several years now. And I think your transition and your own integration, and you and I are very similar for that we are going to try stuff for us first before we share it with others. So I think we're of the same philosophy on that. So how did you get exposed to essential oils, and what was your journey through learning more?
Okay, well, I might be a little bit stubborn and resistant when people tell me.
No, not you. I don't believe it.
So I had a good friend from Alabama. She actually gifted me an essential oil kit. And I sent it back because I'm like, I don't want anything to do with essential oils. It's just witchcraft and aromatherapy, and I deal with exercise and menu. I'm not interested. And then about 6 months later, my son Levi had an ear infection. And I'm like, wait a second, he gets adjusted, he eats well, he exercises. There's no reason. And I just couldn't it wouldn't go away. And so I had tried the Thieves Essential Oil. She made me pay for the kit the second time. First time it was a gift, and then when I said I wanted it, she made me pay for it. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. So I used the oil on Levi, and I just put it on the tragus here. And within 4 hours, after trying for 4 to 6 weeks to take care of it, it was gone. There was no pain, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if I believe in it. I don't know how this works, but that was the start of my journey to, it's like, okay, now you've got my attention. So when it affected my own family, and, you know, being resistant and throwing my 3-year-old temper tantrum and saying, no, I won't, then I had to really eat some crow and move on.
Yeah. So, I mean, success stories speak for themselves, don't they? Right.
Yeah.
And then you started using it more for yourself and for your patients. So overall, what do you see? And then we'll dig into some specific hacks, but what do you see being the benefits for people? Because, you know, just like everything else, there's the prevention aspect, there's, you know, working with specific ailments or symptoms. Now, obviously, we always want to go to the source of a problem, and we wouldn't want to be negligent with our health. But, you know, all those adjunct things, if they can get us success and results, and like you said, avoid a lot of the, you know, the situation of getting sick and clogging our system and not feeling well as well. So what do you see people?
So there's a couple things. So to answer the 17 questions you just asked me, I'm going to say, first, the biggest thing is its nature. Essential oils are just ground up Mother Nature. And so many of us are doing just like you and I are right now, trying to help others. We're sitting in front of a computer indoors when we should be outside. And with this Canadian winter, it's just inhospitable. So essential oils are ground up Mother Nature, and they work on a frequency or a vibration. And so you and I, as we sit here, are basically gigantic bags of sexy molecules held together by frequency. And the essential oils measure our frequency and can bring us up to where we're supposed to be. So for me, that's why it's so important. And then to answer the other 11 questions was, what can they do? So for me is, a lot of people have a medicine cabinet, a go-to if they get sick. And it looks different in every Canadian household. But for myself, I would really love to see every single household in Canada have the 10 basic oils, which are like your, you know, your spinach, your eggs, and your almond milk in your fridge. Replace what they're currently using, and we can do that. So it can be things for aches and pains. It can be things for mood. It could be things for, you know, infections or sunburns. And with the blends of the different oils that exist, we have a tool to be able to help ourselves and our community. So back in the olden days, we lived with our moms and our grandmothers and our aunts and our elders, and everybody had this community. And for me, that's what essential oils can do, is they can replace this medicine cabinet with a community and tools that you can take care of yourself when you can't get to the help that you need.
Oh, awesome. Now, as you're saying this, maybe before we start going into the hack. So usually, well, I guess there's 3 ways that people can use essential oils. You want to cover those just to enlighten?
My favorite way is topical use. I like to put things on my body, and so you can actually put the oils right onto individual parts or certain areas, and corresponding with your anatomy as far as organs or physical structures. So that's the number 1 way. You can ingest some of them. So we actually have a vitality line that is safe to consume, and that's super cool. So, you know, when it's January and citrus isn't at an all-time freshness, you can utilize the oils. And then probably the most popular way that people utilize the essential oils is through a diffuser. Okay, so the diffuser then goes into the area and helps us resonate at that frequency.
Funny story with that. I've gotten as a gift a diffuser for my car, but at -30 temperature, this concept is not going to work for the winter. But wow, what a different experience, you know, driving. I'm actually looking forward in the summer to go in my car and play with that. But
yeah, in the winter, I would suggest a nice leather cuff and putting it on the oils so that when you warm up, so the oils do too.
Yeah, because there are bracelets too that you can put the oils. Okay, so Celina, give us 5 health hacks when it comes to, because all of it too, and you and I are both passionate about that, is decrease our level of toxicity as well, because we're so exposed to toxins, it's not even funny. So we want to make sure we detoxify properly, but I always talk about our toxic load and making sure that, detox is a lifestyle. It's not just an event where you're going to go on a detox for, a couple of weeks, couple of days, or what have you, but it's to really decrease our toxic load. So I think part of your hacks are part of that. So go to town with hack number 1.
Okay. So they say you remember the first thing and the last thing that you will say. So this is why I'm using this one first. Okay. So you guys all have to remember this one. So the first one that I had is replacing fabric softener. So no more wearing chemical blankets from our dryers straight to our beds or pillowcases or clothing, but it's to use wool dryer balls with purification oil, which helps to decrease odors, molds, things like that, to make them less smelly. And then citrus fresh essential oil, which just makes it smell so delicious. It's just like one of my happy smells. So number 1, get rid of your dryer, fabric softeners, and get some wool dryer balls, purification, and citrus fresh.
So how often would you put the drops on the ball, Celina?
I do it about every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I love doing it that way. So it doesn't take a lot, and it's only like 2 drops per dryer ball. So it's not much at all, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've been doing this for years, and citrus, actually orange is my favorite one. So it's so much fun. Hack number 2.
Okay, for those of us who like to pretend we're half our age. Okay, that's me. I'm projecting. I love Cool Azul sports gel with a few extra Panaway drops in it. So the Cool Azul gel is super, super concentrated. So you need like a dime-sized portion, 2 drops of Panaway, and then put it on the things that hurt. It is so good post-exercise, post-workout, or for anybody that might be a little bit sore. I absolutely love it. And it just tingles and you smell like a breath mint.
Yeah, and that would replace, not to name any brands, but the more, the ointments that are more chemical based and so forth, right?
Yeah, and that one that starts with V.
Yes, that one.
and ends with Aaron. Yeah.
So
it's it's a natural way, and it feels really, really good.
Good. All right, hack number 3, which is, especially this time of year with, us being exposed to bugs and the awareness that, we need to sanitize our hands and so forth. So great suggestion, I'm sure, coming up here.
Okay, so Thieves hand sanitizer is the bomb. So I have a personal pet peeve with hand sanitizers because of what the toxicity level that they do to the liver when you're using them over and over again.
Say tribulin, right?
Yeah, it just defeats the purpose of trying to put it on. So the Thieves sanitizer, it's got a really cool story in that they used, during the bubonic plague, the thieves used to rob those individuals who are suffering. And then the police got a hold of them, and it's like, how are you doing this? Like, how are you going in and not getting sick? And it was because of a combination of 4 essential oils that they had over their face. And that's what the blend of Thieves actually is, and why it's so funny that they call it Thieves. So this is reported to kill 97.7% of airborne bacteria and viruses. It's the best. It's great to go to the grocery store with. When you're holding on to the handles, you can put it on the handles or right on your hands. Airplanes in particular, I love taking it with me. I have it in my purse. I've yet to spray somebody, but I've threatened to when they're hacking and coughing. So Thieves hand sanitizer, and they have an entire line of cleaners, laundry detergent, toothpaste, you name it. But this stuff is amazing.
That's great. Yeah, because I'm a big fan of actually another fellow Canadian, Adria Vassil, who wrote the Ecoholic series, Home,
Amazing
and amazing. And she has on her website the Mean 15, and triclosan is one of those, and it's present in most of the hand sanitizer. So here we are pumping ourselves with that. And the issue is it's an endocrine disruptor. So knowing how much hormonal issues everyone has, we really want to decrease our toxic load. So
yeah, you really do. I mean, and it's the skin's the largest organ of the body. Please be kind to it.
Yeah, no kidding. Hack number 4.
Okay, we're back to Celina's midlife crisis. So this is, I have to be really honest, my old facial regimen was, please don't judge me, was Dove soap. And I know, I said, don't judge me, ouch, was Dove soap and a brand of moisturizer I don't want to even mention. Okay, so because everything else my skin seemed sensitive to. I'm not high maintenance that way. I didn't want to go through all these different ointments and stuff like that. And then I came across the Art line. So there's an actual skincare line with Young Living. And so I do that with the magic oil. This one is by far my favorite, which is frankincense. So this one's there's some early research indicating it can help the cellular DNA for things like cancer cells. But it's really cool because it helps reduce age spots and wrinkles. And I've been using it myself, and I had a spot right here that's about a third the size of what it once was. So I love it. And it helps with my mental clarity. I put it on, I huff my hands, and I love it.
Yeah, I know frankincense is used for a multitude of blends, right? It's got pretty strong properties.
And it's one of the oils they have the premium starter kits that come with 10 different oils, and it's one of the staples. This is your, if you're milk and bread, this is it. It's really good.
Yeah. And knowing to add to, our beauty ritual, I know the Environmental Working Group puts on their website a complete section of where people can go and check their cosmetic, check their beauty product and the level of toxicity. But they also say
scary when you do that.
Yeah, it is scary. But they also say that, we leave our house covered anywhere from 10 to 14 products. And when I say that, when I do talks, people go, no, I don't. Well, if you just go with toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, body cream, even if you don't put a lot of different products, by the time you're out the door, you're already toxic. So I think, again, awareness is key with that. And unfortunately, there's a lot of pressure for people to look younger and smell good. Not that we don't want to smell good, but we're not paying attention on, what we're putting on our skin. So
so this morning I actually counted because before I'd put any makeup or anything, just shower and out, it was 11 products.
Wow.
And all of those products I use are Young Living. So, but, a few years ago, I don't know if you remember, you came to the house when we were doing a health expo, and there's just this has got to go, and this has got to go, and it takes time. Yeah. So I would say that was actually my first real, I thought I was doing well. And then if you ever want to invite Nathalie to your house, you'll find out how well you're doing. And then it was just but it's taken me 4 years to clean that up. So this morning I actually kind of pat myself on the back that I've found some products that I had 11 on me, and I still looked like hell. I haven't put any makeup on yet. So it's just that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And thank you for bringing this up, because just yesterday I was talking to a patient, and you're so right that be gentle on yourself in the sense that you can't change. That's what my book is all about, Hack Your Health Habits. And I talk about a level 1, a level 2, a level 3. Level 1 being easy, a level 2 being a bit more complex, and a level 3 being super complex. So you want to set yourself up for success. So changing one thing at a time. And for some people, it may be, okay, I'm out of deodorant. Now let's go to the store. I'm starting with this. I'm out of mascara. Okay, what can I use and slowly replace? And it's all about habits in terms of where we shop and so forth. And it's really just having fun with it. And thankfully, we have so many more options than we used to. I remember shopping for mascara, and I'm like, good grief. There was just nothing available. Now more and more lines are strictly organic. So we have more selection, which is great. And how about did you switch for some of the hacks? No, maybe. Do you have one more hack?
I have one more hack.
Good.
But I want to say one more thing, though. I just can't let it hang. So a lot of us get brown eyes from our parents, or we get really nice arms, or we get certain personality traits.
Yeah.
I believe there's 3 things we also inherit genetically. What we want to use as a dish soap, what we want to use as toothpaste, and what we use as laundry detergent. Okay, so those 3, I felt like I was cheating on my parents when I got rid of them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like I was so in love with Tide. Like that was the hardest one for me to change, and the last one to go.
Yeah, because they become staples, right?
And I still have a half a bottle there because I'm like, I'm never going to get through this. And it's just like, it's there as a reminder. It's like a heirloom, because they're really hard, because you become emotionally attached because there's smells in the limbic system, and that reminds you of home. It's so powerful. So and yes, I do have one more hack, and this one is a super fun one because it burns. So the Ninja Red is a really powerful antioxidant, and what I do is I dilute my apple cider vinegar so that I can actually tolerate it and it doesn't burn like whiskey going down my throat. So it's a powerful gut health with an antioxidant, and then I feel like I've done a health shot every morning.
Do you do that before you eat?
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think more and more people are aware of the benefit of apple cider vinegar as well. So
yeah.
Thank you so much for those. And Celina, I think I'm going to ask you one more question, because you have 2 young kids. Well, I mean, they're, pre-teenager and teenagers now, but how, there's probably tons of mothers listening to us. How have you used it with your kids, and how open are they now compared to, they probably looked at you funny first, and now they're probably running to you for, advice, right?
Yeah, they are. Oh my God, I could tell you so many stories. That's a whole separate podcast. So I will use one story. So first of all, they've always been receptive, and they're actually really good. And now they go grab the oils when they feel like there's something that they may need, whether it's tough times sleeping or rough day at school or aches and pains from a sport. But I have to tell this story. So my son Levi, for any parent that's had a child break a bone, oh my goodness, it's awful. He broke his clavicle with football. So he made a beautiful pass as a receiver, and then there was 750 pounds of torque on him that landed on him tackling him. And so I'm like, okay, I'm in full-on mom mode times chiropractor times driven individual. And I've taken him to, he's got adjusted. I'm taking him to acupuncture. I got him on herbs, and I'm using all the oils. And he looks at me and he goes, you know what, Mom? Sometimes your hippy dippy shit is just too much. And I'm like, wait a second. What did you just say? Like 20 years of education, a lifetime of all this knowledge. Yeah. And I'm like, I got you back on the basketball court in 3 weeks instead of 6. You're going to enjoy this hippy dippy stuff. And I laughed so hard because he goes, well, Mom, I didn't like the herbs. They tasted bad, but I like the oils. It's just, they're very receptive, and like anything else, you let them choose. But it's a really great opportunity. It's fun when I see them walk into what's, my cabinet, my stash, I call it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, Mom, I think I need this. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, both you and I have kids in our practice, and that's one thing that I've seen time and time again is that kids that are educated earlier on are so much more in tune with their body. And I think as parents, this is the best gift that we can give them.
Yeah, to teach them how to be their own doctor.
Yeah.
So realizing that there's a time and place for everything, and common sense must prevail. Yeah. So the one heeding or warning I would have with essential oils is don't be silly. Yeah. If there's something really concerning, you need to seek attention. Okay, so it's great to have knowledge or information, but sometimes you need the knowledge of how to use that information. So I always just say, if you don't know, ask. And if you're concerned, go get help.
Oh, of course. So, Celina, we're already close to the end here. And at the end of each show, I like to ask my guests a quote that they like. And I don't know what you're going to say, but one thing I have to say is that, it's been several months now doing this podcast, and I thought I knew a lot of quotes, but every guest that I've had, I've come up with a quote that I had never heard. So I'm curious to hear yours.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's not Atlas Shrugged. It's
Good.
not Ayn Rand.
I would know that one.
Yeah, I think if I were to get a tattoo, that would be it. But that's not what it is. So my favorite quote is, being reasonable is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Will Smith.
Wow, okay.
I love it. I just love it. It's like, don't be reasonable. We're told all the time, be reasonable, do this, do that. Don't think outside the box. Just be a follower. Yeah, no. Don't.
Good philosophy. Good philosophy. So, Celina, how can people reach you other than your practice and your clinic in Truro, but online if they want to follow you? Because I know that you have some more educational Facebook groups for oils and so forth. So give us your coordinate, please.
Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. To me, I live in Truro, Nova Scotia, so we do things in the grocery store and you come to my house. So if you're not in town, then you're going to have to try the following. One, you can call me. I'm still old-fashioned at my office, 902-843-3445. And that's going to get you everywhere. On Facebook, there is a group called Dr. C's Oil Bar. So I actually have an oil bar in my office. Why? Because I put myself through school serving drinks. Now I put people through life serving oils. So that's one way that you can do it as well. And then on Instagram, I'm under just Well Within Chiropractic, or Well Within Truro, and wellwithinchiropractic.net. So social media, but please call me. Like it's very simple that way.
Awesome. That's what I loved when I was visiting the East Coast. It's just people are so down to earth and friendly. And you're right, old fashioned, which is refreshing, because I'm in Ottawa. It is a busier city, but there is something that has to be said with connecting one-on-one. So thank you so much, Celina. I think we kept it between the lines. We didn't get in too much trouble, because sometimes you and I have funky conversations. So we're going to leave that, just as it is. And again, thank you so much for your time and your passion and creating this awareness that there are other means to enhance our lifestyle that can be fun and really beneficial for our overall health. So this was Dr. Nathalie Beauchamp. That was the What the Hack podcast. And again, for my book, Hack Your Health Habits, which is this big baby here, if you want, you can text the word hack to the phone number that you will see on the screen, but it's also, I have it here, 1-716-203-1356, and you will get, if you don't have a copy of the book, you want to see what it's all about, you will get the first section, which is the first four chapters, and you'll see also everything that's in the book. I'm super excited. As I was mentioning, I visited Dr. Celina out east. I also went to Vancouver, which is west coast of Canada. My next two travels are going to be to the States to visit our American friends, which I'm super excited about. So until next time, this was Dr. Nathalie Beauchamp, and keep on hacking your health. I'm Dr. Nathalie Beauchamp, and this is What the Hack, the podcast that dives into what the heck is going on in the world of health and well-being, explores how to optimize your mindset and your lifestyle, and shares practical tools so that you can achieve your fullest potential. Join me and a special guest each week as we discuss everything from biohacking to diet personalization to cutting-edge detox methods to setting and staying accountable to your goals. Ready to find out what the hack you can do to stay healthy, sharp, and at the top of your game? Let's get started. This has been a Wellness on the Go production.